All right, the national anthem has been sung. Players were introduced, and we are about to get underway here at Caramon Health Park. Game 3 of the Atlantic League Championship Series between the Gastonia Honey Hunters and the reigning champion Lancaster Barnstormers. Gastonia at 83-50 overall. Lancaster 66-63. That's regular season and playoffs combined. Barnstormers won Game 1 by a final score of 3-2. Gastonia won Game 2, 12-3. Beat up on the Barnstormers by 9 runs. They got to Matt Swarmer. Swarmer allowed 7 runs in 5+ innings. Did strike out 8. He is a strikeout pitcher. But the Gastonia Bats came to life. 12 runs on 13 hits. So how these two teams get here? Well, great question. Gastonia and High Point are in a long battle this season, back and forth. Did they go in the standings? Ended up coming down to a first-half championship game back on July 7th. And High Point beat Gastonia in High Point to become the first-half champs. And Gastonia continued its success for the rest of the season, got in because of co-second-half champs, also a wild card berth, as they had a significantly better record than New York. And then Gastonia faced off against High Point for the second straight season. Last year, High Point eliminated Gastonia in 5 games. This year, Honey Hunters flipped the script. Honey Hunters eliminated the Rockers in 5 games. They won Game 5 by a final score of 9-3. Great performances by Gunnar Kynes and Zach Mort. The two combined for all 9 innings pitched. And as for Lancaster, they got off to a very slow start in the first half. Were among the worst teams in the league record-wise. And then in the second half, they really got things going. They ended up having a 37-24 record, winning the half. They ended up 3.5 games ahead of York. So Lancaster, currently the hottest team in the ALPB. And then Lancaster swept the Long Island Ducks in 3 games. The two managers, Mauro Guscazzo and Ross Peoples, are currently meeting with the umpires. Speaking of, let's take you through the umpiring crew for tonight's game. At home plate, it's Marty Bauer. First base, Scott Hart. Second base is Buzz Albert. Third base, Vincenzo Mariani. 4 umps for the playoffs. Honey Hunters are about to take the fields behind right-handed pitcher Sal Romano. And here comes Romano, jogging out to the mound. Romano, a 29-year-old right-handed starter from Syosset, New York. Drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in 2011. Taken out of high school. He was with the Big League Reds from 2017 through 2021. He was a starter originally for the Reds a couple of years and then became a reliever. He also pitched for the Big League Brewers and Yankees in 2021. 88 games in the majors, 5.23 ERA, struck out over 200 batters. In 28 games, 15 starts this year, Romano was 4-5, 4.91 ERA, 37 walks, 75 strikeouts, and he made 1 start in the 2023 postseason. That was in Game 4 against High Point. That was when the Honey Hunters had a 2-1 series lead over the Rockers. Were 1 win away, and Romano gave them a really good outing. Went 4 innings, gave up 1 run on 5 hits, walked 1, struck out 2. And Romano ended up, of course, with the no decision. Gastonia ended up dropping that game. A Bandy Klinsky walk-off single sent us to a Game 5, and then the Honey Hunters took care of business in that Game 5. Now just 1 series win away from becoming Atlantic League champions for the first time in franchise history. Let's take you through the Gastonia defense behind Romano. Left to right in the outfields, Davidson, Jarrett, and De La Rosa. Now with the small right field in Lancaster, the corner outfielders were switched. De La Rosa was in left, Davidson was in right, but they are back to their usual positions. Left to right in the infields, Hoover, Reinheimer, Santa, and Washington. Scott Manet is catching Romano, and Jason Rogers is the DH. So here comes the switch hitter Melvin Mercedes batting from the left side, as well as the switch hitter Jason Coca, who's on deck. Mercedes so far hitless in the series. He had a stellar year offensively. He's ready. Romano's ready. First pitch is upstairs, and we're underway. Game number 134. Romano's 1-0. Fastball strike. This year, Mercedes hit .328, OPS at exactly 900. Highest on-base percentage in the league at .444. Long set now, the 1-1. Fastball high, 2-1. Having a rough start to the postseason, 2 for 16. That's just 125. Does have 6 walks. In this series, he's 0 for 7. Next pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2. 4 heaters so far from Romano. Mercedes, Coca, and Cordero, first 3 in Lancaster's order. Here comes the 2-2, foul back. Mercedes went to UCF, Central Florida, drafted by the Oakland A's in 2012. Was with their system until 2018. Next 2-2. Just misses inside, and the count's full. Payoff pitch, low and outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk for Melvin Mercedes.
Coming to the plate, the shortstop, number 8, Coca.
That brings up the next switch hitter batting from the left side, Jason Coca. Mercedes certainly a threat to steal. Opening offering, fastball right down the middle for strike 1. This postseason, Mercedes has stolen 2 out of 3. The one caught stealing was against Gastonia in Game 1. This year, 34 stolen bases. Next pitch, low and inside, 1-1. Well, just like Mercedes, Coca is hitless so far this series, 0 for 4, but he has walked 4 times. In the playoffs, hitting 5 for 15, that's .333. 1-1, that's chopped to third. A nice leaping grab by Hoover, throws across the diamond, it's not in time. Coca too fast. And the first 2 Barnstormers have reached off Romano.
Coming to the plate for the Barnstormers, the first baseman, number 12, Cordero.
That'll be an infield hit for Coca. Hoover did fire a strong throw, but not even close to get the speedy Coca. Here comes the dangerous Andretti Cordero. First pitch. That's grounded to short. This could be 2. Reinheimer to Santa to Washington. 6-4-3 double play. Over to third goes Mercedes. And now 2 away. A tailor-made double play.
Coming to the plate for the Lancaster Barnstormers, the designated hitter, number 7.
And now Romano is 1 out away from getting into and out of trouble. Here comes the DH, Wilson Garcia, putting together a phenomenal postseason. First pitch, misses low. Garcia hitting .400 in the playoffs. 1 long ball, 7 driven in. In this series, he's 2 for 8 couple RBIs, also 3 strikeouts. 1-0 to the switch hitter batting from the left side. Line down the right field line. That's going to be a base hit. 1 hop off the wall. Mercedes scores. Garcia wide turnaround first. He'll stay there. And it's an RBI single for Wilson Garcia. And Lancaster strikes first tonight. And it's 1-0 Barnstormers. RBI number 8 of the playoffs for Garcia. So a wall ball RBI single as that hit off the right field wall. De La Rosa has a very strong arm out there, so smart for Garcia not to test it. Here's Ariel Sandoval. First pitch to the center fielder in the dirt. Nice block by Manea. Well, so far in this series, both games, the team that's scored first has gone on to lose. In Game 1, Gastonia got off to a 1-0 lead in the second and then lost 3-2. And on Wednesday, it was the Barnstormers getting off to the 1-0 lead on Garcia's RBI single. And Gastonia ended up winning by 9. Not a good sign here for Gastonia fans, as Goose Gazzo and the athletic trainer Anna McGraw are checking on Scott Manea. He just blocked a ball in the dirt. Hopefully Manea is okay. Looks like he's touching and moving around his neck. So in the meantime, it's 1-0 Lancaster. Lancaster top of the first inning. Back-to-back games where a Wilson Garcia single has given the Barnstormers an early advantage. Goose Gazzo taps Manea on the backside. And it looks like the backstop is ready to go. A 1-0 count on Sandoval. Garcia on first, 2 down, top of the first. And Manea is staying in the game. Next pitch, that's grounded to Reinheimer to his right, throws to second. That's in time. Nice play by the shortstop Reinheimer as he moved to his right and then got the 6-4 fielder's choice. An early 1-0 lead for Lancaster. RBI single by Garcia. Gastonia is coming to bat on the Honey Hunters Baseball Network. Gastonia trails Lancaster 1-0. On to the bottom of the first, where Jack Ronheimer leads things off against Brady Tedesco. Tedesco, a 26-year-old southpaw from Greeley, Colorado. His first pitch to Ronheimer, taken for strike one. Tedesco went to Lewis Clark State College in Indiana, also Campbellsville University in Kentucky. Next pitch, calls a strike at the knees. Ronheimer thought that was a bit low. Count 0-2. The lefty pitched for the Evansville Otters of the Frontier League last year. He made 2 regular season starts with the Barnstormers, so this is the first time Gastonia is seeing him. Next pitch, high fly ball, right fields. Carpenter is there, backpedals and makes the catch. 1 away. Let's take you through the Lancaster defense behind Tedesco, left to right in the outfields. Proctor, Sandoval, and Carpenter. On the infields, Lair, Coca, Mercedes, and Cordero. Anthony Peroni is catching, so it's not Conley behind the plate. And Wilson Garcia, we already saw what he can do. He's the DH. First pitch to Jason Rogers, taken for strike one. In the 2 starts Tedesco made this year, he went 1-1, ERA of 2.25, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. He did not allow a homer in 12 innings pitched as he deals low. The count 1-1. Tedesco was the Game 3 starter against the Long Island Ducks. Went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, and he got the win. That's grounded to short. Coca fields and fires in time for out number 2.
Coming to the plate for the Honey Hunters, the center fielder, number 11, Zach.
2 up, 2 down for Tedesco, and that brings up Zach Jarrett. Jarrett with good numbers this postseason, even better numbers this series. Overall hitting 8 for 28, that's 286. He's 3 for 9 with an RBI against the Barnstormers. First offering, taken downstairs. Jarrett with 2 homers and 3 driven in the playoffs. 1-0. And misses inside, 2-0. So a couple pitchers used by Lancaster that Gastonia has not faced. Swarmer yesterday, and now it's Tedesco tonight. That's a high fly ball to center. Sandoval has plenty of room to make the catch, and that ends the inning. So down go the Hunters 1-2-3 in the first. We've played 1. It's 1-0 Barnstormers on the Honey Hunters Baseball Network. On to inning number 2. Lancaster has a 1-0 lead over Gastonia. And a big swing game. It's a 1-1 series tie at the moment. Best 3 out of 5. It'll be Proctor, Carpenter, and Peroni against Romano in the frame. First pitch to the Gastonia native, in there for strike 1. Chris Proctor from Gastonia, then went to Duke University, and then was drafted by the Detroit Tigers in 2018. 0-1 to the lefty. This is low and away. Romano looking for a bounce-back frame after allowing 1 run on 2 hits in the first. Big hit off the bat of Wilson Garcia. 1-1, grounded foul weakly behind the plate, 1-2. Proctor played in Game 1 against Gastonia, did not play in Game 2. Went 1 for 4, couple strikeouts. Overall, in the postseason, 3 for 13. Romano set, and now deals the 1-2. High fastball, 2-2. Goose Gazzo has not officially announced the Game 4 starter, as that's lined center field, 1 hop in front of Jarrett. A rocket base hit up the middle, a leadoff single for Proctor.
Coming to the plate for the Barnstormers, the right fielder, number 20, Joseph Carpenter.
Well, as I was saying, Gazzo did not announce an official Game 4 starter, but he said it would be along the lines of either Gunnar Kynes or Zach Mort. Not sure which order, but he's leaning going Kynes Game 4, Mort a potential Game 5. Here's Joseph Carpenter. Opening offering, fastball strike 1. A lot of heaters so far from Romano, usually tops out at around 95 miles per hour. Oh, 1. That's chopped, third base side foul. And it was fielded by Hoover, but just to the left of the bag. And the count's 0-2. Proctor stole 13 out of 18 in the regular season. He's stolen 1 base in the playoffs. Well, while Proctor is originally from Gastonia, the man at the plate, Carpenter, is from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This postseason, 0 for 4, couple strikeouts. He had 1 at-bat this series. Pinch hit in Game 2, and he flew out. That's grounded off the pitcher, Romano. He fields, fires to first in time. So going to second is Proctor. Romano makes the play, but more importantly, hopefully he's okay. Looked like that might have got him on his throwing hands. He's flexing that right hand of his. And now Anna McGraw out to check on it. Now out comes Goose Gazzo. That is not a place you want to get hit if you're a pitcher. There, pitching hands. It was a comebacker right off the hand, and then good job by him recovering and making the play at first. Now Romano will throw a warm-up pitch to Manea just to see if he's all right to continue pitching in this game. So he will now throw a warm-up pitch. Looks like he will throw another. Right now it's 1-0 Lancaster over Gastonia. Game 3 of the ALPB Championship Series. Thanks to everyone for tuning in on Flow Sports. Sal Romano throwing warm-up pitches right now because it was a comebacker off his hand, and looks like he is good to stay in the game. Crowd gives him a nice hand. So Proctor on second, 1 out. That brings up the catcher, Anthony Peroni. This is Peroni's second game of the postseason. Played in one game against the Ducks. That was first action against Gastonia. First pitch. Lined, base hit center field. One up in front of Jarrett. Around third is Proctor. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's not in time. Proctor scores from second. And standing up at first with an RBI single is the catcher, Peroni. 2-0 Lancaster.
Barnstormers, the third baseman, number 6, Trace Lord.
Now 4 hits off Romano. And here's the 9-hitter, Trace Lair. First pitch, misses low. Well, it was the 8 and 9 hitters in game 1 to record RBIs against the Honey Hunters. As there is strike 1. Jack Conley and Trace Lair each with RBI singles in the second inning back on Tuesday. Now it's the 8-hitter Peroni to cash in. That's grounded, and a nice sliding play by Santa, throws to second in time. Great play by Kevin Santa. Running toward the second base bag to his right. He slid on his knees and then threw it to Reinheimer for out number 2. So Lair reaches, now 2 down for the leadoff hitter, Mercedes. Mercedes walked and scored his first time up as he takes a breaking ball low. Already 2 runs on 4 hits for Lancaster off Romano, while Gastonia was retired 1-2-3 by Tedesco in the first. Breaking ball in there for a strike at the knees. The walk by Mercedes was his 7th of the playoffs. Second in this series. Runner goes. Pitch lined down the right field line, but foul. Count 1-2, and Lair will retreat back to first. Lair is 1 out of 1 so far in the postseason. We've seen Lancaster pull off a hit and run already this series. Runner goes again. That's grounded to first. Washington Fields takes it himself, and that ends the inning. But 2 innings so far off Romano, 1 run scored in each of them. This time it's Anthony Peroni coming up big, knocking in Proctor with a single. 2-0 after 1.5. Bottom of the second. Rough start to the game for Gastonia as they trail 2-0. They were retired 1-2-3 by Tedesco in the first. Here is 4-5-6. First pitch to Scott Manea. Outside. Tedesco got Reinheimer and Jarrett to fly out. And he got Rogers to ground out to short. 1-0. That just misses high. 2-0. Manea having a sensational playoffs. 12 for 25. That's 480. A couple homers and 7 driven in. That misses way up and outside. 3-0. On deck, Davidson. Finished the regular season with 12 more walks than strikeouts. Had the 6th highest on-base percentage in the league as he takes a strike. So far in the postseason, 3 walks, no Ks. And 2 for 6 in the series. Next pitch. High fly ball to right. Carpenter has room. He makes the catch. 1 down. 4 batters faced, 3 flyouts by the Honey Hunters. And here comes Braxton Davidson. Just like Manea having a stellar postseason, 8 for 25. That is a .320 batting average with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. One of those homers has come in this series. First pitch. Strike on the inside corner. He's 2 for 5, solo homer in game 1. He walked 3 times in game 2. Next offering, this is low. Reached base all 4 times on Wednesday. 3 walks, 3 runs scored, also a single. 1-1 in this lefty-lefty matchup. That just misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Gastonia looking for its first base runner off Tedesco. Southpaw's 2-1 in the dirt, 3-1. So he made 2 starts in the regular season with Lancaster. The first one was on August 8th, or September 8th, at York. He went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs. And then on September 14th, it was against the Ducks. 7 innings, 1 run. Then had a great start against them in the playoffs. As the 3-1 is low, ball 4. And Davidson is on, first base runner for Gastonia. Here comes Eric De La Rosa, one of the top performers from Game 2. In this postseason, he is 10 for 29. That's .345. 4 for 9 in this series with a home run and 4 driven in. All those runs driven in. Game on Wednesday. First pitch. Strike at the knees. A 2-run homer. Also knocked in a couple on a 2-bagger. A 1 will not be delivered as Tedesco checks on Davidson. Tedesco has a 2-0 advantage. Gastonia is coming off a game where they scored 12 runs on 13 hits. 0-1, misses low. Now it's unclear whether this is because of the comebacker that hit off Romano's hand or not, but the lefty Grant Larson is warming in the Gastonia bullpen. There is no double hook DH rule, so no rule that says the starter has to go at least 5 innings. Ball rolls onto the field. Larson threw a wild pitch, and Proctor retrieves the ball. A ball striking and out on De La Rosa. Davidson on first. Gastonia chasing too early on. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Big hack by De La Rosa, who's just below the strike zone. And the count's 1-2. The lefty set at the belt and deals. Grounds at a third. This could be two. Lair goes to second for one. Over to first. It's in time. And around the horn, inning-ending double play. Wrapped into by De La Rosa. And Tedesco has faced the minimum through two. 2-0 Lancaster on the Honey Hunters Baseball Network.
Leading off for the Barnstormers, the shortstop, number 8, ejection.
Well, we already have a pitching change in the game. Sal Romano out, Grant Larson in. And I imagine it has to do with the comebacker off Romano's right hand. So Romano goes just 2 innings. First pitch from Larson is grounded to short. Easy play for Reinheimer, and he makes it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Larson came on in relief of Romano in Game 4 against High Point as well. He had a solid outing, allowed just 1 run in 2 1/3, gave up 3 hits, walked 1, struck out 4. 2 starts in the regular season. And this is first pitch low. Larson went 0-2, but had an ERA of 2.53. Walked 1, struck out 8. That's chopped foul off third. Count 1-1 on Andretti Cordero. Coca grounded out to short. Now here's Cordero on deck, Wilson Garcia. 1-1, swing and a miss. That was off speed. Cordero went down to a knee. 1-2. So far he is 1 for 7 in the series. That's foul tipped at the plate. They'll do it again. The first player in Atlantic League history with multiple 100 RBI seasons. Next offering, chopped off the glove of Larson into center field. A 1-out single for Cordero.
Coming to the plate for the Barnstormers, the designated hitter, number 7.
Now, Lancaster is not a team that has a lot of power, not a team that hits a lot of home runs, but they call small ball, or as they call it, Ross ball, referring to their manager, Ross Peoples. A lot of hit and runs, a lot of bunts, and, well, a ton of stolen bases in general. First pitch misses inside to Garcia. Coca and now Garcia bat from the right side against the lefty Larson. 1-0. And the dirt, 2-0. Garcia responsible for the Barnstormers' first run of the evening. He knocked in Mercedes with the single. That hit off the right field wall. 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Garcia's single, of course, came from the left side against Romano, and now batting from the right side. That's lined, base hit left field. Hard hit single by Garcia as Davidson fires in. So that puts 2 on with 1 out for Sandoval. Garcia continues his outstanding postseason. Sandoval grounded into a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the first inning, as Manet has a conversation with Larson. Back-to-back singles by the Barnstormers. It has been all Lancaster so far, 2 runs on 6 hits. Garcia on first. Cordero on second for the center fielder, Sandoval. Opening offering. Misses low and inside. No. Quite the opposite of Garcia's case. Sandoval off to an abysmal start this postseason. He's hitting 1 for 19. Next pitch, lined right field, in comes De La Rosa, makes the catch on the run. Runners retreat, and it's in time to first! Garcia was leading too far off the first base bag, and that is an inning-ending double play. Wow, that's poor base running by Wilson Garcia. He assumed the ball was going to fall. It did not, and that is an L9-3 inning-ending DP. Still 2-0 Lancaster after 2.5.
All right, fans, it is time for Being Back Bullseye. I'm here with my 2 contestants, Beth, and a very special guest. Some of you may recognize former Honey Hunter Toad, Madison Heileman. Madison, how you feeling about this? I'm not gonna lie, you guys do not have high hopes for me. I haven't played cornhole in a while. Beth, that's good news for you. All right, who's going first, ladies? Go for it, Beth. I like that little sneak closer.
Well, poor base running by Wilson Garcia helped Grant Larson get out of a jam. First and second, one out, and then one line drive ended the threat. Bottom of the order for Gastonia. In the bottom of the third, so far Brady Tedesco has faced the minimum through two. First pitch. This is outside to David Washington. Washington, Santa, and Hoover in the inning. Gastonia still looking for its first hit off the lefty. That's inside 2-0. Washington is 6 for 26, 231 in the playoffs, 1 for 6 in this series. 2-0. That's fouled back, 2-1. One run driven in the series. One homer and 4 driven in the postseason. Next pitch, fastball strike, 2-2. The Barnstormers have 2 hits in each of the first 3 innings. First 2 innings off Romano, and the third off Larson. That's grounded, base hit, right field. In the 4-hole, Washington goes to first. He gets there safely. And it's a leadoff single for Washington. And that is the first hit of the game off Tedesco. Mercedes was going to his left. It was out of his reach. So leadoff base runner, and here is Kevin Santa. There were a lot of players excited before the game, but probably none as excited as Santa. Had a wide smile on his face. He lays down a bunt up the first base line. It'll be a tough play, and the play's not made. It's a bunt single for Kevin Santa, and he's fired up. That was perfectly placed down the first base line. Cordero fielded, fired to first where Mercedes was, and Santa beat it out. So back-to-back hits to start the frame, and here is the former Barnstormer, Jake Hoover. Santa is certainly the best bunter on the team, and that was a beauty. So here's Hoover with 2 on, nobody out. Corners in, and Tedesco steps off. Honey Hunters trying to rally here in the third. They're trailing 2-0. First pitch. Breaking ball's low. I asked Hoover before the series how important it was, because it was the team that he was with last year and won a championship with, and then the team that released him earlier this season. And he said he knows how big it is, but he has to act like it's just another game. Has to stay calm, stay true to himself, and treat it like it's nothing special, even though he acknowledges that, of course, it is. One-0, shows bunt, pulls back, takes inside, throw to second. Not in time. They almost got Washington. A great throw by Peroni. But Washington is back safely. Santa on first, Washington on second, a 2-0 count on Hoover. Here comes the pitch, shows bunt, pulls back, takes low, 3-0. A pitch away from loading the bases with nobody out. We'll see if he shows bunt here on 3-0, or if he's swinging away. He does show bunt. Pulls back, takes high, ball 4. The bases are loaded with nobody out for Jack Reinheimer. Conference on the mound as the pitching coach Mark Johnson goes out to have a word with the left-handed starter. Now here is the situation for Reinheimer. The shortstop has been spectacular all season long, but he has 1 for his past 22 in a huge slump. So we'll see if he breaks out of it here. He certainly is due. And this would be a great spot to break out of that 1 for 22 slump. Bases loaded with honey hunters. He doesn't even need a base hit. All he needs is a fly ball to get a run in. So Hoover, Santa, and Washington on. And Reinheimer digs in. Got 6 hits in his first 3 games of the playoffs. Now 1 for his past 22. First pitch. Taken for a strike in the upper part of the zone. Called the strike by Bauer. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Down to a knee goes Reinheimer. 0-2. Of course, a strikeout is just about the worst thing that can happen here if you're Gastonia. Got to put the ball in play. Next pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike 3. Reinheimer goes down on 3 pitches, and he is now 1 for his past 23. 1 down. That brings up Jason Rogers. That's the first K of the day for Tedesco. In fact, that's the first strikeout of the game for either team. Here's Rogers, had a bunch of clutch hits against High Point. First pitch, fastball strike. He grounds it out his first time up. This postseason, he's 7 for 31. 2 for 9 in the series. Next pitch, misses low. Has 1 run driven in this series, also has struck out 4 times. Gastonia looking for a big hit pretty early in this game. Already chasing 2. That's a high fly ball to right. Carpenter goes back to the track, to the wall, jumps. It's gone! Just over the leaping try of Carpenter. Grand slam for Jason Rogers. Potentially the biggest swing of the season. 4-2 Hunters. How about Jason Rogers? 2 homers in 34 games with Lincoln this year. 2 homers in 2 straight at-bats. In Game 5 against High Point, and now in the swing game of the championship series, he hits an Oppo Taco a grand slam. First pitch taken off the plate by Zach Jarrett. That could be the swing of the season. 1-0. Breaking ball's low. That ball just got out. Carpenter leapt at the wall just over his glove. That's a high fly ball, deep left field. That's going to go! A long homer into the parking lot off the bat of Jarrett. Rogers and Jarrett go back to back. It's 5-2 Gastonia. Here comes that Honey Hunter offense. The team that hit a league record 220 home runs in the regular season goes back-to-back. And they go from down 2 to up 3. Scott Manea takes off the plate. Jason Rogers now with 10 RBIs in the playoffs. That, of course, leads the league. Manea takes low, the count 2-0. That's a high drive, left center field, that has a chance, yes sir! Back to back to back! Rogers, Jarrett, now Manea! 6-2 Honey Hunters! You've got to be kidding me! The grand slam by Rogers was certainly not a no-doubter, but the next two were Jarrett and Manea with monster shots. And here comes Davidson. First one was 352 feet to right. Next one got out in a hurry, 353, but with the shallow left field, that was a no-doubter, and then Manea made it not even close, 397 feet. As Davidson lines a base hit to right field. So that's bad news for Gastonia because they can't have 4 straight homers, but I guess they'll take the single. Davidson on for the second time tonight. Here comes Eric De La Rosa as Gastonia has batted around. First pitch. This is outside. Brady Tedesco faced the minimum through the first 2 innings. And his second time through the order did not go as planned. Next pitch, swing and a miss. 1-1. A 6-run third inning. 1-1. This is high, 2-1. The last 4 batters for Gastonia. Grand slam, solo homer, and single. Davidson leads off first, 2-1. High drive, deep left center field. Sandoval back at the track and makes the catch just in front of the wall. Davidson back to first, so De La Rosa gave a bid for what would have been Gastonia's 4th homer of the inning. Instead, ballpark keeps it in, and now 2 down for David Washington. So here comes Washington. He led off the inning with a single in the right fields. Then scored on the Rogers grand slam. First pitch, this is high. Each team with 6 hits. Gastonia with 6 runs, Lancaster with 2. 1-0. High drive, right center field and deep. Sandoval back to the wall, looks up, and it's off the very top of the wall. Davidson around third. He's coming home. Here comes the throw. It's in time. They got him at the plate. Great tag made by Peroni. as Davidson was tagged out. Now Goose Gazzo arguing. So the out call made by Marty Bauer. And that's how the inning comes to an end. But what an inning it was for the Gastonia offense. They go back to back to back and belly to belly to belly. Rogers grand slam. And then Jarrett and Manea go yard. 6-2 Gastonia after 3. Welcome back to Caramon Health Park as the first pitch taken for strike one by Chris Proctor. A 6-run bottom of the third inning for Gastonia. And the Honey Hunters now lead by 4 in inning number 4. 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Grant Larson still on the hill for Gastonia. Lancaster has recorded 6 hits, 2 in each frame so far, but just scored a couple. Both the runs scored off Sal Romano. And it's in the dirt. 1-2. That was a double hit by David Washington, and then Davidson was out at the plate. 8-4-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Larson fans Proctor, 1 away. That brings up Joseph Carpenter. Six runs on 7 hits in the third inning as Carpenter takes low. That's grounded to short, backhanded by Reinheimer. Plenty of time to make the throw. 2 down. First pitch to Anthony Peroni, shows bunt, pulls back and takes low. That is taken for strike 1. Larson allowed a couple hits last inning, coming on for Sal Romano after 2. Next pitch. Reached out and tapped to second, and slowly Santa has time to make the play. That ends the inning. 1-2-3 down go the Barnstormers here in the 4th. They've played 3.5. 6-2 Gastonia on the Honey Hunters Baseball Network. Another pitching change here in Lancaster, or here in Gastonia for Lancaster, I should say. Brian Marconi in, Brady Tedesco out, as Kevin Sansa takes low. So, a great first 2 innings for Tedesco, but a very poor 3rd inning, of course. Final stat line is not good. He went 3 innings, gave up 6 runs on 7 hits. Walked 2 and struck out 1. Next pitch, in there for a strike. So the lefty replaced by another lefty, Marconi, as his next offering is grounded foul off first. 1-2. So, first time this season, or I should say, Gastonia did not go back-to-back-to-back at all this season. They have done that one other time against Lancaster. That was back in 2021. Line drive right at Coca. 1 away. Santa laid down a beautiful bunt single his first time up, then came around to score. This time lines out to short. Here comes Jake Hoover. First offering to the former Barnstormer. He's taken off the plate. He walked and scored his first time up. The momentum shifted completely in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lancaster got off to a great start, scoring in each of the first 2 frames, as that is strike 1. And then the Honey Hunters had an offensive explosion, scoring 6 runs in the 3rd. 1-1 to Hoover. Foul back 1-2. Rogers, Jarrett, and Minea all with their 3rd homers of the postseason. One, 2 from the lefty. In the dirt, 2-2. "38 games in the regular season for Marconi. He went 0-1, 4.34 ERA, 34 walks, 53 strikeouts. He allowed 2 runs in the 6th inning of Game 2 on Wednesday. That's grounded on a couple hops to Coca. Charges, fields, fires, got him. 2 down. And that brings up Jack Runheimer. He was batting with the bases loaded, nobody out last inning, and he struck out looking on 3 pitches against Tedesco. Opening offering. That's popped up, foul territory, first base side. Cordero over toward the seats, and he runs out of room. Strike 1 on Runheimer. The shortstop is 1 for his past 23. Oh, 1. That's off the plate, 1-1. Bottom of the 4th inning, Gastonia leads Lancaster 6-2 in Game 3 of the ALPB Championship Series. Series right now tied at 1, best 3 out of 5. Next pitch, misses low, 2-1. Now in that 1 for 23 span, Runheimer has walked a couple times, so he's reached base, just hasn't recorded a base hit except for that one time. Check swing, called a strike anyway by Bauer. 2-2. A borderline pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The offering in the dirt. The count's full on deck. Rogers. Here comes the payoff pitch. Grounds it on a hop to Coca to his left. Throws the first just in time. And that ends the inning. So Jason Coca makes all 3 plays in the frame. And the Hunters are up by 4 after 4.
Leading off for the Barnstormers, the shortstop, number 8, Excuse me, it's number 6, the third baseman, Trace Lloyd.
Nine 1-2 for Lancaster here in the 5th. Larson's first pitch. In there for, oh no, it's taken downstairs. 1-0. Looked like Bauer was going into his strike call, but he was not. Next pitch. That time is in there. Count 1-1. Looks like Bauer has the same back step before calling a strike and not making a call. 1-1. That's low, 2-1. Blair grounded into a 4-6 fielder's choice. His first time up. That's chopped to short. Reinheimer charges, throws in time. 1 away. Larson has retired 5 in a row. And now he faces the top of the order in Melvin Mercedes. First time Mercedes will bat from the right side. First 2 times up were against Romano as he takes a strike. A walk, a run scored, also a ground out for the second baseman. Next pitch, swing and a miss, swinging out of his shoes there. Well out in front, the count 0-2. Larson had a very difficult job, certainly was made easier by the run support. But he came on with his team down 2-0 in the 3rd. Starting pitcher left, likely due to an injury. As there was a comebacker that hit off Salermano's right hand. That's chopped slowly too short. Reinheimer charges. It'll be a tough play. Fields fires. Got him! A strong throw made by Reinheimer for out number 2. That was going to be a tough play the whole way through because of the speed of Mercedes. And Reinheimer makes the first 2 plays of the 5th. First pitch, that's grounded to first. Washington takes it himself, and that ends the inning. How about Grant Larson? Back-to-back perfect frames for the lefty. We're halfway through this contest, and Gastonia has a 6-2 lead right here at Caramon Health Park.
Leading off here, Honey Hires, the designated hitter, number 23, Jason Rogers.
2-3-4 for Gastonia. As we go to the bottom of the fifth, Honey Hunters up 6-2 on the Barnstormers. Here is Jason Rogers. He turned this entire game around his last time up as he takes pitch up and away. Opposite field's grand slam off the bat of Rogers. One-0. Misses inside, 2-0. Rogers has more home runs this postseason than he did the entire year with the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Next pitch, popped up shallow right. In comes Carpenter. He makes the catch, one away. Grand slam was hit off Brady Tedesco, who had a great first couple of frames, but then allowed back-to-back-to-back homers in the third. Here comes Zach Jarrett, hit one of those three dingers. His third of the playoffs as well. Opening offering from Marconi is low. Marconi on for his second inning of work. He's retired all four Gastonia batters thus far. Next pitch, popped up shallow center. Out goes Mercedes. He makes the catch on the outfield grass, 2 down. Here comes Manea. His home run was the farthest, 397 feet to left center, a no-doubter. Both him and Jarrett left the yard in a hurry. Grand slam from Rogers just went over the leaping try of Carpenter. First pitch, breaking ball's low. So Manea now with 3 long balls and 8 driven in the playoffs. 2 homers this series. That's popped up foul the other way, 1-1. Marconi's 1-1. Grounded foul. Off third, avoided by Chuck Stewart. 1-2. So the two relievers are in a groove right now. That's in the dirt, 2-2. Right now, 7 straight retired by Larson and 5 in a row retired by Marconi, both southpaw pitchers. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on base for Manea. Next pitch. Fouled off down the left field line. And they'll do it again. Well, you could argue the two clutchest moments of the postseason so far for Gastonia are Jason Rogers' home runs in Game 5 against High Point, and now here in Game 3 against Lancaster. Pitch was upstairs, so the count is full on Manea. Long set now. Here comes the payoff. Ground to the first. Right there is Cordero. He takes it himself. And that ends the inning. Great job by Marconi, as he's perfect in his 2 innings. We've played 5. Hunters up by 4.
Alrighty, fans, it is time for the outfield wall race. I am here with MJ, Pearson, and Larson. Toes are on the line. On your marks. Whoa. Cross. Move your feet back. There you go. No cheating here on health mark. On your mark. Get set. Go. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for our outfield wall race contestants. Pearson pulls an early lead. Home stretch here, and Pearson is running away with it. And we have a winner. Everyone give it up for Pearson. Fans, that was brought to you by Luray Athletic Club, the official athletic club of your Gastonia Honey Hunters.
Leading off the Barnstormers, the first baseman, number 12, Andre Cordero.
Grant Larson on for his 4th inning of work. He's retired 7 Barnstormers in a row and now faces 3, 4, 5, starting off with Cordero. First pitch outside. Larson has done a tremendous job so far. Cuscazo did not expect Romano to just go 2 innings. That's a hot chopper behind the mound. Grabbed by Larson. Throw to first in time. What a play by Grant Larson. He was backing up, going toward the second base bag, snagged the ball out of the air, then made a sidearm delivery to first to retire Cordero. And because of his own play, he's now retired 8 in a row. That's a high pop-up, shallow right. In comes De La Rosa. Out goes Santu, who's going to get it. Sansa makes the catch to retire Garcia. Larson is cruising right now. He's just thrown above 30 pitches. And 2 of those pitches have been in this inning. So let's see if Larson could have a 3-pitch inning. First offering to Sandoval. Taken low, so he cannot have a 3-pitch inning. Garcia was the last Barnstormer to reach a pitch downstairs. And the DH was retired for the first time tonight. Now here's Sandoval. 0 for 2 so far. He takes outside 3-0. He ended the first inning, also ended the third inning on that L9-3 double play. Poor base running by Garcia. He got doubled up at first. There's strike 1. 3-1 from the lefty. Grounded foul. Rolling toward the Gastonia dugout. And the count's full. Larson trying to go for 10 straight retired. Certainly deflating for the Barnstormers offense. That 6-run third. Ground ball to second. Santa makes the play. And Grant Larson has retired 10 straight Barnstormers. A tremendous job from the southpaw. Still 6-2 Hunters after 5.5.
For all that they do to support your Gastonia Honey Hunters here at Paramount Health Park. In honor of Paramount, we are going to do a little bit of scrub racing here today. I'm here with Mike and Jessica. They're going to be competing against each other to see who can put on a pair of scrubs the fastest. The catch here is they got to put their forward back to turn, get real dizzy, spin until I say stop. You ready? Count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go ahead. Fans, make some noise. The louder you are, the dizzier they get. I don't think that's fast enough, Jessica. Keep spinning. Keep spinning. It's more entertaining if you fall down. Keep spinning. All right, guys, go ahead. Put on those scrubs. See? Entertainment. All right, Jessica, here. Fans are on. Good start. Mike, there's time to catch up. Shirt's gotta be on. And we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for our scrub race contestants.
A combined 16 straight batters retired by each lefty reliever. Brian Marconi for Lancaster and Grant Larson for Gastonia. Larson's retired 10 straight. Marconi has had a couple perfect innings so far. He's on for his third inning of work, and now he faces Davidson, De La Rosa, and Washington here in the bottom of the 6th. Davidson's reached both times tonight, a walk and a single for the lefty slugger. First pitch, misses low and away. He got thrown out at the plate on a Washington double. That was in the third. Trying to score the 7th run of the inning, but he was unsuccessful. 1-0. High drive. Right field and deep down the line. That's a foul ball. So Davidson gave it a ride, but he pulled it a bit too much. Now the count's 1-1. Next offering. That's taken inside 2-1. Something that has impressed me from Davidson past couple games has been his plate discipline. We all know he has a lot of power. We know he could hit it 450 feet, but he's had such great discipline against Lancaster pitching. As he takes strike 2. 1 walk, also a single tonight. And game 2 walked 3 times, also singles. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Breaking ball in the zone. Davidson whiffed. 1 down here in the 6th. First strikeout for Marconi. And that's the first time that Davidson's been retired since Tuesday. Brian Bland is warming up in the Gastonia bullpen. Larson's thrown 38 pitches through his 4 innings as Eric De La Rosa takes outside. The right fielder's over 2, wrapped into an inning-ending double play in the 2nd. Flew out to center in the 3rd. It was a deep fly out as well. Went all the way back to the wall, did Sandoval. That's up and away, 2-0. De La Rosa was very close to a 4th home run in an inning for the Gastonia offense. Instead, Honey Hunters ended up just settling for the 3. The lefties 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1. So we'll see if Larson comes back out for the 7th or if it's Blanton. Nick Wells is back and available to pitch, so I'd imagine the formula will be Blanton for the 7th, Wells for the 8th, and Spraker for the 9th. That's cut on a miss, 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. It's outside, the count's full. De La Rosa trying to reach base for the first time tonight. He had an outstanding game 2 in Lancaster. Here comes the payoff. Fastball in there for strike 3 on the inside corner. De La Rosa down looking. Back-to-back Ks for Marconi, and he has retired 8 in a row. So this game so far has been a tale of 2 halves. Both offenses got off to an outstanding start. 2 hits in each of the first 3 innings for Lancaster. Of course, the 6-run 3rd for Gastonia. And now, both relievers have been remarkable. Washington takes strike at the knees. Now a combined 18 straight retired in the contest. And nobody has even reached against Marconi for Gastonia. 0-1. Breaking ball misses low and away. Washington's 2 for 2. Both his hits came in the same inning in the 3rd when the Honey Hunters batted around, hit a single and a double, and scored a run. 1-1 to the lefty. Check swing. He did not go according to Mariani. 2-1. So good job by Marconi getting outs and eating innings for Lancaster, helping the bullpen rest a bit while their offense tries to get back on track. So far, nothing doing against Grant Larson. That's cut on a miss, 2-2. Gastonia leads by 4 runs here in the 6th, trying to take a 2-1 series lead Misses low. The count's full. On deck, Santa. Honey Hunters are in a great position to be one win away from an Atlantic League championship. Marconi's 3-2. Just misses low. Ball 4. Good at bat from Washington. And he is the first runner to reach against Marconi. So he has reached in all 3 of his plate appearances. Here comes Kevin Seltz, 1 for 2. A bunt single and a run scored in the 3rd. And a line out to short in the 4th. He pops it up behind the plate. Peroni watches it make the seats for strike 1. Lair playing in just in case Santa lays down another bunt. Six runs on 7 hits for Gastonia, 2 runs on 6 hits for Lancaster. Marconi's 0-1 to Santa. Rounds it foul off first, 0-2. Well, I said before that Santa was very excited before the game, had a wide smile across his face, was in great spirits, and then after his bunt single, he was pumped up at first base. Clapped his hands a couple times, gave a nice fist bump. That's grounded foul once again. Still 0-2. Marconi trying to go 3 scoreless innings against Gastonia. Santa fouls it off. Well, Lancaster's been the hottest team in the ALPB. They were winners of 10 straight games. They swept the Ducks with ease. And now they're on the verge of falling down 2-1 in this series. Still some baseball to be played. Next 0-2 to Santa. That's grounded to second. Easy play for Mercedes. He throws to first, and that ends the inning. 3 scoreless innings for Marconi. He's certainly done his job. We've played 6. It is 6-2 Gastonia on the Honey Hunters Baseball Network. Seventh inning action here at the Gas House. It'll be Proctor, Carpenter, and Peroni against Grant Larson, who is still on for Gastonia. First pitch, swing and a miss. Big hack by Proctor. So far, 4 scoreless innings from Larson. He allowed 2 hits in the opening frame he pitched. That was in the 3rd. Check swing, he did go, according to Bauer. Home plate up, 0-2. Since those 2 hits Larson allowed, he has retired 10 straight batters. Now it looks like Proctor is arguing with Bauer, so Bauer telling him to back off. Or no, he's pointing to the dugout, and someone has been ejected. Someone in the Lancaster dugout has just been tossed. Unclear as to who. And now it is a player coming out and yelling at Bauer. That is number 24. Looks like that's Niall Ball, a Lancaster pitcher who's on the inactive list. He's not even active in this series. And Niall Ball has been ejected. Yeah, there's no 24 on the active roster. So that is the starting pitcher, Niall Ball. Not usually you see a player who isn't even active getting tossed, but there you have it. So Ball ejected, and now an 0-2 count on Proctor. Here comes the pitch. Lined foul down the first base side. They'll do it again. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 11 straight retired from Larson. 1 down here in the 7th. Second strikeout for Larson. And out goes Guscazza. We'll see if he makes a pitching change. And he will take the ball from Larson. What a job, Grant Larson. An outstanding performance by the Southpaw. And he will pass the baton to Brian Blanton. Listen to the hand from the crowd. He gets a standing ovation. A job well done by Grant Larson. Brian Blanton into pitch when we come back on the Honey Hunters Baseball Network. We're back here where Brian Blanton is in for Gastonia. First pitch, cut on a miss on a high fastball by Joseph Carpenter. What a job by Grant Larson. 4 1/3 innings, no runs, a couple hits early on, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and 11 straight batters retired. That misses high, 1-1. So Blanton now to get the last 2 outs at the 7th. Is 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. This postseason, Blanton allowed 1 run in 4 innings. The run was unearned. 1 hit, couple walks, 8 strikeouts. Did get the loss in game 1 against Lancaster. That's caught on a missed, strike 3. High fastball. Another chase by Carpenter. One batter faced, 1 K by Blanton.
Coming to the plate for the Barnstormers, catcher number
Blanton allowed the game-winning run of the 9th inning in Game 1. That was on Tuesday. The runner reached third because of a throwing error by the catcher Olmeda. And then Blanton's wild pitch allowed Lancaster to take a 3-2 lead, one that they did not relinquish. Fastball's a bit upstairs to Peroni. The catcher's 1 for 2 RBI single in the second and a ground out in the fourth. 1-0. Fastball strike, 1-1. Other than that, one appearance where Blanton allowed the unearned run. He has been spectacular this postseason, was phenomenal against High Point, no blemishes. That misses high, 2-1. He's been the 7th inning man. Usually it's Nick Wells for the 8th and Graham Spraker for the 9th. 2-1. Foul back, 2-2. Now let's see if Honey Hunter's pitching can strike out the side. Larson struck out Proctor. Blanton got Carpenter chasing a high fastball. Here comes the 2-2. Lined right field. In comes De La Rosa right there to make the catch. And that ends the inning. So how about 13 straight Lancaster hitters retired as Blanton does the job. Gets the last couple outs of the 7th. Still 6-2 Hunters. And it's time to stretch in Gastonia.
Now pitching for the Barnstormers, number 26, Brett White. Leading off the bottom half for your Honey Hunters, the third baseman, number 4, Jake.
Jake Hoover is leading off the bottom of the 7th after the 7th inning stretch. It'll be him, Reinheimer, and Rogers. First pitch, misses low. We have a new pitcher in the game for Lancaster. Third pitcher used is Brett Clark, right-hander. Breaking ball strike, 1-1. What a job by Grant Larson. Also, great job by Brian Marconi. 3 shutout innings. Had a streak at one point of 8 straight retired. So great job by him to keep the Barnstormers in the game. As the 1-1. High fly ball, right field. Over towards right center goes Carpenter to make the catch. one away.
Coming to the plate for your Highlanders, the shortstop, number 1, Jack.
Here comes Jack Reinheimer up to the dish. I think it says a lot about the Gastonia offense as Reinheimer lines a base hit into right field. So the slump is snapped. Was one for his past 24, now 2 for his past 25. As Reinheimer hits an opposite field single.
Number 23,
Well, I was just about to say, it's pretty impressive that with Reinheimer, who's one of the anchors of the Gastonia offense, going 1 for his past 24, it's very impressive that the Hunters' bats have been producing the way they have. First pitch to Jason Rogers, taken for strike 1. Rogers 1 for 3 with the grand slam in the 3rd inning. He takes inside. Reinheimer's 3 for 3 in stolen bases this postseason. He stole 30 this year. We'll see if he goes against Clark. That's inside off him. It hit him. So Rogers hit with the pitch. He tosses his bat aside. And Clark has put 2 on with 1 out for Zach Jarrett.
now batting for your Highlanders, the center fielder, number 11, Zach.
So here's Jarrett, 1 for 3, also with a home run in the 3rd. Clark's first offering, breaking ball just misses low. And now Peroni wants a word with the reliever. Brett Clark, a 26-year-old right-hander. He got the last 2 outs at the 6th inning in Game 2 against Gastonia. So pitching for the 2nd straight game. In the regular season, pitched in 39 games, made 3 starts, was 0-5 with an ERA over 5. 1-0 to Jarrett. Fastball strike 1-1. Next pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Peroni. That bounced in the grass well ahead of the plate. Peroni made the stop and keeps Reinheimer at second and Rogers at first. Way back in the 3rd inning, Gastonia scored 6 runs. Since then, there has been no Lancaster base runner. That's chopped to 3rd. In comes Lair, throws to second for 1, over to first, gets away from the first baseman Cordero. Here comes Reinheimer, he's gonna score. That makes it 7-2 Honey Hunters. Looked like that might have been catchable for Cordero. And that allowed Reinheimer to score. So Rogers out at second. Jarrett reaches first. And here comes Scott Manea. First pitch strike to the catcher Manea. Also 1 for 3 with the homer. Jarrett goes. Pitch fouled off the other way. 0-2. That's going to be a throwing error on Melvin Mercedes, so an E4. That allows Reinheimer to score. 0-2. Fastball upstairs, 1-2. That's line center field right at Sandoval, who makes the catch. And that ends the inning. But Gastonia puts a couple runners on off Clark and scores on the E4 committed by Mercedes. 7-2 Gastonia.
Fans, it's time for innings. Now pitching for your Honeyhunters, number 32, Nick Wells. Leading off the Barnstormers, the third baseman, number 6, Trace Lord.
On to the 8th inning, where Trace Lair takes strike one from Nick Wells. Wells pitched for the first 3 games against High Point. Was not with the team while they were on the road, and now back here at the Gas House. He is available. He is 1-1. High fly ball, right center. Jarrett camps under it. He puts it away for out number 1. And not only did Wells pitch in the first 3 games of the playoffs, but he was sensational. He faced the top of the Rockers order in all 3 games, and he pitched scoreless 8th innings. So no runs in 3 innings pitched, just 1 hit, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Melvin Mercedes takes strike 1. He committed the throwing error that allowed Reinheimer to score. That put Gastonia up by 5. He takes strike 2. And now Mercedes takes a timeout. A lot of hitters do that against Wells because he works so fast on the mound. Mercedes is 0 for 2, couple ground outs. Walked and scored back in the first. That's grounds weakly to short. Tough play for Reinheimer. Charges, fields, fires, got him. Nice play, Reinheimer once again. 2 away. The last Barnstormer to reach base was Wilson Garcia back in the 3rd inning. Currently 15 straight retired by Gastonia pitching. Right now, one of the better bullpen performances of the season for the Honey Hunters as Jason Coca takes inside. Next offering, in there for strike 1. 1-1. Just outside 2-1. It was Lancaster's bullpen who was dominant against Long Island, only allowing 1 run against the Ducks in the series. But Gastonia's bullpen has certainly been more dominant in this series thus far, as Wells dealt strike 2 to Coca. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. It's in the dirt. Counts full. On deck Cordero. And now Coca uses his timeout. The shortstop's 1 for 3, singled back in the first. Since then, just like Mercedes, a couple groundouts. Payoff pitch from Wells. Grounds it off the glove of Wells into center field. And Lancaster finally has a base runner. They snapped a streak of 15 straight retired. Jason Koch is 2 for 4. There are 2 reasons why Gastonia is in such a great position to win right now. One of them, of course, that 3rd inning. Back-to-back homers. That's grounded through the 4-hole the other way. Base hit into right field by Cordero. Back-to-back singles. And Lancaster might have something brewing here in the 8th. So one reason is the Rogers, Jarrett, and Manea back-to-back homers, giving the Honey Hunters a lot of momentum. And the other reason is because of Grant Larson. 4 1/3 of scoreless ball. Now goes Goose Gazzo. I don't imagine he'll take the ball from Wells, just talking things over, and that's exactly what it is. Ever since Ian McKinney departed to the KBO, it's been Goose Gazzo taking over as not only the manager, but also the pitching coach. Conference over, Gazzo back to the dugout. Parker Bug, the right-hander, is getting loose in the Gastonia pen. 2 on, 2 out. Here is the dangerous Wilson Garcia, switch hitter, batting from the right side. First pitch, this is outside. 2 for 3 RBI single back in the first. Southpaw's 1-0. That's chopped to third. Nice jumping grab by Hoover. Has plenty of time to throw across the diamond. And that ends the inning. So Lancaster broke the streak of 15 straight retired. Put a couple on against Wells. But Nick Wells got out of it. Gastonia is 3 defensive outs away from taking a 2-1 series lead. We'll be right back on the Honey Hunters Baseball Network.
Pitching for the Barnstormers, number 44, Chandler Brearley.
bottom of the 8th inning. Gastonia up 7-2. And the new pitcher for Lancaster is Chandler Brierly. Fourth pitcher used by Ross Peoples. 25-year-old southpaw. This is his first appearance of the postseason. First pitch to Braxton Davidson. Taken for strike one. Brierly, originally from Ridgewood, New Jersey, went to Stevens Tech in Hoboken, New Jersey. For the last 3 years, he pitched for the Slammers of the Frontier League as he deals strike two. In the regular season, made 4 appearances for the Barnstormers, 2 2/3 of scoreless ball. Gave up 1 hit, walked 2, and struck out 5. 0-2 to Davidson. Fastball in there for strike 3 over the outside corner. 1 batter faced, 1 K for Brierly. Now, the Gastonia offense has not done much outside of that 3rd inning. In fact, they only have 1 other inning with 1 hit. That was last frame, the Reinheimer single. So 7 out of their 8 hits have come in that 3rd inning. First pitch up and outside to De La Rosa, but sometimes all you need is 1 big frame. And Gastonia is well on their way tonight to just needing that 1 frame to win. 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. 6 runs on 7 hits in the bottom of the 3rd inning, including back-to-back-to-back homers. Rogers, Jarrett, and Manea. 3rd home run of the postseason for all 3 hitters. That's foul back, count 1-2. De La Rosa's 0 for 2 with the strikeout. He produced 4 runs in game 2 on Wednesday. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, got him on a breaking ball low. 2 down. That brings up David Washington. He's had a great game tonight. 2 for 2 with a walk. Also a run scored back in the 3rd. So he'll try to get on for the 4th time. Whereas Brierly's trying to strike out the side. First pitch, fastball upstairs. There are now 4 Honey Hunters with 3 home runs. Davidson, Rogers, Jarrett, and Manea. 1-0, foul back. And those happen to be the 2 through 5 hitters for the Honey Hunters. Such a dangerous lineup, really has been the entire season, going back to when Gastonia had hitters like Carlos Franco, J.C. Escara, Steven Moya, that's low and away. Two-1 from Brierly. Grounded weakly foul. Over toward the Lancaster dugout. The count 2-2. So this will either be a 1-2-3 inning for Brierly, or Washington will reach for the 4th time. And Gramps Breaker is warming up now in the bullpen, so he will come on for the 9th. Two, foul back. Washington stays alive. The man who takes batting practice from the right side, although he is a lefty, helps him with his balance and with his confidence. Let me tell you, he still hits it really well from the right side. Next 2-2. Skied foul the other way, and they'll do it again. Each team with 8 hits, but Gastonia outscoring Lancaster by 5. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 7-2 Hunters over the Stormers. And the next pitch in this lefty-lefty matchup, taken in the dirt, 3-2. On deck, Kevin Santa. The Barnstormers bullpen, just like the Honey Hunters pen tonight, has done an outstanding job. Both bullpens doing a great job, but Brady Tedesco did not, the starter for Lancaster. That's inside, ball 4, and Washington is aboard for the 4th time tonight. 2 hits and 2 walks.
Fans going to the plate for your umpires, the second baseman, number 2, Kevin Santa.
So here is Santa. 1 for 3, a single and a run scored in the 3rd, and it was a bunt single perfectly placed down the first base line. Opening offering. Fastball misses a bit high. Brierly's fastball tops out at around 95 miles per hour. Most of his pitches around 93 or 94. That's popped up shallow on the infield. Third baseman Lair makes the catch, and that ends the inning. Well, the Gastonia Honey Hunters are 3 outs away from becoming 1 win away from their first ever Atlantic League championship. Can they do it? Find out next on the Honey Hunters Baseball Network.
September 30th. First pitch will be at 6:35. Gates open at 5:35. Tickets are on sale now, so make sure you stop by the box office. If you used your ticket today, you can get in free for tomorrow. We need you out here cheering us on, fans.
Now pitching for your Honey Hunters, number 9, Graham Rocker.
On to the 9th inning we go, and here comes Graham Spraker for his first appearance of the series. Spraker pitched in 4 games against High Point. Games 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course, Game 5 was handled by Gunnar Carnes and Zach Moore. And now he is on to try to get the final 3 outs of Game 3. First pitch to Sandoval. A high drive to deep left field. Back goes Davidson. That's off the very top of the fence. Davidson fires in. Wide turnaround first. He's going for second. He's dead out. What was Sandoval thinking? An easy out for Gastonia. Davidson barehanded it off the wall, fired it to second, and for some reason, Sandoval continued to go. That's the easiest outfield assist that Braxton Davidson's going to get. So, 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 9th. That brings up Chris Proctor. First pitch, shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike. So that's a single, and then out 7-4. Especially when you're trying to get on and start a rally down by 5. That was poor base running. We already saw poor base running from Lancaster earlier in this game by Wilson Garcia back in the 3rd. Now here from Sandoval in the 9th. 1-1 to Proctor. Fastball's inside, 2-1. This year in 13 games, Spraker was 0-1, ERA just over 2, 9 walks, 15 strikeouts. Next pitch, this is high, 3-1. Now 3 innings, allowing 2 runs in the postseason for Sprakers. 7 hits, 4 walks, 4 Ks. That's foul back, the count's full. On deck is going to be a pinch hitter, Chad Sedio will hit for Lancaster. Sedio will hit for Carpenter. And here comes the payoff pitch to Proctor. Lined. Oh, what a diving stop by Santa to his right. Throws from his knees, not in time. So that's going to be an infield hit for Proctor. Diving attempt by Santa to his right. Hit off his glove after a hop. And then recovered through to first, but Proctor beat it out. So back-to-back singles off Spraker here in the 9th. 1 on, 1 out for the pinch hitter, Chad Sedio.
Now batting for Barnstormers number 5, Chad Sedio.
Opening offering to the lefty. Fastball strike at the knees. This postseason, Sedio's 0 for 6 with 3 walks and 3 punch-outs. 0 for 3 in Game 1 against Gastonia. Did not play on Wednesday. That misses high, 1-1. Carpenter went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He hits from the right side, so Ross Peoples using a lefty instead. Next offering. That's popped up on the infield. Left side, Hoover is under it. He makes the catch. And Gastonia is 1 out away. Of course, this would not be a save for Spraker, as his team is up by 5. That brings up Anthony Peroni. Lancaster out hitting Gastonia 10-8, but trailing by 5. First pitch, fastball strike 1. A swing game of this series that Gastonia is trying to win. Feel pretty good about their odds if they just need 1 win at home with 2 to go. Next pitch, breaking ball's low. Proctor takes second on defensive indifference. So that just gets rid of the potential force out at second. Peroni's 1 for 3, RBI single back in the second. Spraker's 1-1. That's a breaking ball low and away, 2-1. Next pitch, outside 3-1. On deck is Trace Lair. Spraker trying to end things tonight. His 3-1, lined left center field. That's going to be a gapper and get to the wall above Jarrett's glove. Scoring easily is Proctor, and standing up at second with an RBI double is Peroni. It's a 7-3 game.
Now batting for the Barnstormers, the third baseman, number 6, Trace.
So now Peroni has 2 RBIs on the night, 2 out of the 3 runs because of Peroni. And here's the 9-hitter, Trace Lair. First pitch to the lefty. Taken up and away. Spraker got behind hitters against High Point. He was not the sharpest in that series, certainly looking the same tonight. But he has a 4-run cushion at the moment as he deals strike 1. Next pitch, swing and a miss. And Spraker is 1 strike away. The crowd is on their feet, getting very loud. It'll be a 1-2 to Lair. Here it comes. That's foul back. Lair stays alive. Peroni on second, 2 down. Top of the 9th. Gastonia up 7-3. Here comes the next 1-2. That's fouled off. And they will do it once more. Crowd chanting, "Let's go Hunters." Next pitch, foul back. Good job battling by Lair as he is trying to keep this game alive. Crowd continues clapping, standing on their feet, hoping Spraker gets this final out. That's foul back. Certainly the loudest that Caramon Health Park has been this year, as you would expect. Biggest game of the season, and tomorrow will be big as well. Game 4 tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. Honey Hunters hoping that that's the game that they will win the Atlantic League Championship Series. 1-2. Popped up. This could be playable. Foul territory down the third base line. Manea makes the catch, and that's the ball game. Gastonia wins 7-3, and they are 1 win away from becoming Atlantic League champions. 7 runs on 8 hits, no errors for Gastonia. 3 runs on 11 hits, 1 error for Lancaster. All Gastonia needed was the 3rd inning, a 6-run bottom of the 3rd, as the Honey Hunters take a 2-1 series lead. If they win tomorrow, that ends the series, and if they lose, that'll bring us to a do-or-die Game 5 on Sunday. Post-game report coming right up on the Honey Hunters Baseball Network. We're back here at Caramon Health Park, where Gastonia won Game 3 by a final score of 7-3. 7 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Hunters. 3 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Stormers. Top performers from Game 3. How about that back-to-back-to-back homers in the 3rd inning? Jason Rogers, Zach Jarrett, and Scott Manea propelled Gastonia to this victory. A grand slam that just went over the leaping try of Carpenter and Wright off the bat of Rogers, and then Jarrett and Manea followed up with solo shots to left center. First time all season long Gastonia's gone back-to-back-to-back, and they used that to propel the offense. There was only one other inning where Gastonia recorded a hit. 7 out of the 8 hits were in that 3rd inning, and that inning was enough to give the Honey Hunters the victory. The other top performer, not enough could be said about this guy, Grant Larson. He was sensational. 4 1/3 innings of scoreless ball. Allowed just 2 hits. It was early on. Ended up retiring 11 straight Barnstormers to end his outing. Larson was phenomenal. Came on. I don't think anybody expected Sal Romano to just go 2 innings. Hopefully his hand is okay. There was a comebacker off his right hand, and he ended up exiting after the 2nd inning. So Larson came on and did a sensational job. Brian Blanton, Nick Wells, and Graham Spraker eventually shut the door on Lancaster and helped Gastonia win Game 3 by a final score of 7-3. Tomorrow night at 6:35 p.m., Gastonia will try to win the Atlantic League Championship. Until then, I'm Noah Epstein saying thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great one.